Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? I want to welcome you to day 4 of the Walk With Me Challenge. So my name is Ricardo Cordu, and if you've been following me, this month of November, I've been pairing the Rise Up and Pray Challenge, which is my book, and then also the Walk With Me Challenge together. And so on my private Facebook, I'm doing the review with the Rise Up and Pray book. Actually, you click on my link and go to that, sign up for the group, and you'll be able to be a part of that. But I've been coming on Instagram and coming on live and talking as I've been walking. And so with the Walk With Me Challenge, all I've been wanting you to do is at least for 30 minutes a day for 21 days straight. And on day 4 of that, take a 30-minute walk. I've been walking downtown. I did, if you see me the other day, I finished reference, so that I ran that day versus walking. But tonight I'm finishing up my 30 minutes and I want to come on and talk with y'all. So just to talk about what I was thinking about some things today, and we talked about taking strategy and structure yesterday, so that it can lead you to success, because you're in position, a proper position to receive the answer that you've been waiting for, been searching for the goal that you have in mind for your life, where you want to go in life. And so, as I was walking up here to get on the treadmill, I started thinking about the good, the bad, the ugly. And what do I mean? You ask Ricardo, what do you mean the good, the bad, the ugly? You have to, when you are willing and wanting a change in your life, when you're looking to solve that problem in your life, when you're looking to become a leader, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. Looking at yourself in the mirror. Looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the ugly. And now, ugly doesn't mean physical. Ugly means internal. What's some things that you struggle with mentally that make you perceive yourself that you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing in life? What's your struggle? What's your ugly secret? Is it procrastination? Is it overeating? Is it addictions to drug? Is it drinking? Is it lying, stealing? What's that ugliness inside that has been hidden inside of you, that you've been fighting with, that you've been battling with? And the reason why I ask that is because when you're looking to become a leader, when you're looking to make that change in your life, you have to forgive yourself. All that ugliness is based off your past. It's based off things that you think you made bad decisions on, or people told you it was a bad decision, or things that you kind of held yourself accountable for. Sometimes I'll sit down and kick myself because I wish in middle school, high school, and college, I would have paid more attention in class. I would have really, tried to get everything I could get to be able to be successful, make the right relationships, and because there's people in the class that, went on to do successful things, and I used to kick myself for that. But then one day, I heard my leader tell me that, a lot of people lose value in life because they're focused on their past. And if you're focused on your past for too long, your future will leave you behind. I want you to catch that. If you focus on your past too long, your future will leave you behind. And so tonight, I need you to leave your past behind. Now, leaving your past behind doesn't mean you can't use what you went through for correction for your future. So, the bad. Now we've got the good, the bad, the ugly. So we just talked about the ugly. Now the bad. The bad is, what's your bad habits? What's the habits that you have implemented in your daily life that's stopping you from being successful? So, for instance, I'll just give an analogy. For me, I know I had to cut out as much TV time as I used to watch TV. There was a time where I used to sit there and watch, if a basketball game started at 6 p.m., I would watch it all the way to 6 p.m., 1, 2 p.m. in the morning. I'd be up watching basketball games. And during that time period, I was, snacking on snacks and eating cakes and donuts and eating chips and just eating bad food. And so it led me to gain weight, right? And I'm not unhealthy, but I need to lose weight because I'm too heavy for my age. I'm too heavy for my height, right? And so that was a bad habit that I picked up by sitting there watching the basketball games for hours. I also realized me doing that, it took away from my study time, the time that I needed to learn a new skill. You ask, Ricardo, what's a new skill that you had to take the time to learn? So for me, I really started getting into reading inspirational books that would allow me to learn about financial literacy, to learn about entrepreneurship, to help me learn about sales, also books about reading the Bible, reading Proverbs, learning about wisdom and understanding, and all I get understanding. The word comes by hearing by the word of God. The word will be a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. The word brings truth. And I knew that deep down inside, and we're talking about the bad, I knew deep down inside that I needed to spend the time to start studying. It's when I started facing my bad and I started saying, okay, you know what? Let's just cut out basketball. I literally cut basketball. I cut out watching the games for hours. If I did watch it, it was like maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I would watch the highlights. I learned to watch the highlights, so I won't have to spend 5 and 6 hours not doing anything. And so what happened was I still love basketball, but I just know right now I need to focus in and learn some skill sets that's going to help refine me to become a better person in the future. And it didn't happen overnight, right? And so, I got introduced to 21 Levels of Leadership with John Maxwell. I got introduced to The Richest Man in Babylon. I got introduced to Think and Grow Rich. I got introduced to 101 Ways or One-on-One Sales. I got introduced to so many different other books. I got introduced to the Bible in a different way, being introduced by understanding, what Genesis is about, what Proverbs is about, what Psalms is about, what Matthew is about. I got introduced to faith like never before. I got introduced to prayer like never before because I took out the noise. I call it the noise, and the reason why is because when you're dealing with bad, you're dealing with the noise of things, of clutter, noise of distraction, noise of bad relationships. You're dealing with the noise of life. Okay? And then I looked at the good. I had to look at the good. What's some good things that I'm doing? What's some good habits, some good things that I have going on? I was thinking about good because, it's some good things. I have a good personality. When I say I have a good personality, overall, I'm a good person. People like me. They like how I encourage them. I encourage people. When it comes to leadership, I always look and see what people need and try to exceed their expectation. I know I'm hardworking. If I focus on something, I know that I can get the job done and do it in excellence. There's some things that I know I just do good. And so the good, I assess that good, right? Because we're looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I assess that good, and I started asking myself, what do I need to do to take some of these bad habits and start turning things into good habits? What's some things that I implement? So reading the Word of God daily, spending time in prayer daily, doing this walking challenge for 30 minutes, walking, exercising, not eating after 8 p.m. at night, trying to, cut down on what I ate. And if I ate something, it'd be like fruit, or I'll drink a hot tea. What's some things that I can do to help destroy some of my bad habits? And so, first I knew that when I looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly, the first thing that came to mind, I feel that I got an understanding. I feel that when I took the time to do this, I got clarity. I figured out when I started doing this is that I needed mentors in my life. I needed people. I desired at that time I wanted to be married. I desired to be married, so I asked God for somebody who could be good mentors for leadership. I started reading books about marriage. I started reading books about integrity and honor. And I joined certain men's groups that allow me to learn about, how to be a better father. I joined things and organizations where I learned different things on how to trade in the Forex market. I learned about financial literacy, how to teach to other people. I started joining things that led me to have to abandon my bad habits, and it had me overcome. I put myself in positions that had to overcome my past to the point where I began to love myself unconditionally. So when I talk about good, bad, and ugly, this time period when you're in transition to be a leader, to solve that problem in your life, this is the time that love is introduced to your life. You'll have a love for life. Having a love for life will allow you to exceed your expectations, have the ability to start dreaming again, have the ability to start striving again, have the ability to try again on that new business, or build that new relationship, or try again to be married, or try again to get back to your community, try again to get your credit right, try again. It'll give you the love to try again. And so I want you to think about this tonight. What's your good, your bad, and your ugly? And then I want you to forgive yourself. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you begin to put enough good things in your life, I don't know if you've ever seen that visual. If you can imagine having a glass of water, and that glass of water is that glass of water is dark. It's pitch black. It's dirty water. Then imagine having yourself a clean glass of water, a full glass of water. As you start pouring, at first, the water is still dark. By the time you fill up the cup and it starts overflowing, eventually, if you pour enough good things in that cup, that darkness, that dirtiness, that disgustingness that you feel about who you are and what you've done in life, that you're stagnant, that water begins to be purified eventually, where you can see right through it. And that's where you want to be. You want to be clear about who you are and what you're doing in your life. Now, you might not know everything, but if you can get some clarity. So, for instance, when I say definition of purpose, right? We talked about this the other day. My name is Ricardo Cordu, and I'm called to teach and transform people, to spark them to their destiny. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. You need to get clarity about your life. And so tonight, as I leave you tonight, I want you to think about loving yourself. I want you to think about that good, that bad, that ugly, right? And get it right. I want you to get it right. It might take a couple days, it might take a week, it might take a month for you it might take a year. I still sometimes even hold myself back because of things I went through in my past. But I'm getting better every single day. But I know to love myself through it. I know to pray myself through it. I know how to have faith through it, to face my fears and overcome my objectives. And so I just want to leave that with you. I want to thank you for joining me for day 4. My name is Ricardo Cordu, and I wish above all things that you prosper, that you be in good health, that your days are sweet as honey, and that your life bring you much joy and much laughter. Remember, life is love and love is life. We're on the winning side. I will see you tomorrow for day 5 of the Easy Walk Challenge. All right, love y'all. Bye-bye.